Hi everyone. I am currently doing my practicum at Legacy Elementary School, which is a public elementary school under the jurisdiction of the Washington County School District in St. George, Utah. Legacy's mission statement is Achieve Excellence Together, and the mission statement of the Washington County School District is to ensure high levels of learning for every student. To the left here, you can see a picture of Legacy Elementary School, which is a newer building that is a 2-story K through 5 school, and it's the only 2-story elementary school in the area, which is actually pretty cool. So as an elementary school, some of the social problems that are being addressed are basic education to all children ages 5 through 18, regardless of social status, providing a safe space for low-income families to send their children. They run before and after school programs as well, which can really help families that work long hours. There are 2 square meals guaranteed per day. In addition, the school often sends home take-home kits for families to prepare food for dinner and weekends at home. Also is behavioral health services, the wellness room to teach individuals safe coping skills. So the wellness room is an area inside the school that was created a couple years ago. It's a very therapeutic, calm, safe space where kids can excuse themselves from a classroom setting or from a lunch or recess setting, and teachers are supposed to ask little to no questions if they need to use the wellness room and have access to that. And it's been really great. I'll probably go more into that in my future slides. But lastly, pinpointing specific needs within the community, making referrals to DCFS, mental health services, and other community providers. As far as the social policies and practices that impact client system, so the education policy refers to the plan and underlying principles for educating students. The goals of educational policy have evolved in the United States as society and culture have changed, and we are continually debating and revising this education policy. Legacy Elementary strives to include parents and guardians in the education planning process with each of its students, which is extremely important when talking about a child's future in education. And I have really seen this put into place with their individualized education planning. Legacy Elementary prides itself on being a dual immersion school for both English and Spanish speaking students. So this caters to the specific needs of the students and their families in the area. We do have a very large percentage of students who are only speaking Spanish in the home, and they come to Legacy specifically because they can learn in both English and Spanish. And studies have shown that kids with this opportunity are able to learn a lot more than they would if they were just required to learn in only English, especially when they've been raised Spanish speaking in their home. And then lastly, Legacy participates in programs like Power School and RISE, which informs parents of students' strengths and weaknesses with regards to educational, behavior, and social needs. So parents are able to kind of be more involved with what is happening during the school day, and not just rely on the hearsay that they get from their kids every day. Okay, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about governance. Craig Hamner is the superintendent of the Washington County School District. So he's really head honcho, top of the line. Under Craig, every school in the Washington County School District has a principal. Legacy Elementary is special in that it's a Title I school. And so our school also has, in addition to the principal, Sherry Maxwell, who is the Title I coordinator. Under the principal, like every school, there are the general education teachers, there's staff members, secretaries, nurses, custodial, etc. Student teachers, class aides, substitutes, support staff, including school counselors. So that's kind of what you would see in your typical general education classroom, those kind of opportunities. But with Legacy, because it's a Title I school, it has access to a lot more funding through federal and state grants, and so they're able to run a more fluid special education department, which I did not realize until working at this internship, that really does include a lot more than it used to 20 years ago when I was in elementary school. The special education department incorporates all of behavioral needs within students and learning disabilities and anything else. So under Sherry Maxwell, there's Shannon Dempsey, and she's the special education teacher. And under her, there are speech and language development professionals and paraprofessionals who kind of support her. But then on the other side of that, there's Stacey Williams, who is the special education director. And under her are the behavior techs. And Angie Oliver is hired full-time to be a behavior tech. And so her primary job is to teach social skills, just be a part of all of the daily behavior stuff. And that's where I also placed myself here on this chart. So, okay, so here I'm kind of going to go into what does an intern do at Legacy Elementary. So here in this first picture, you can see a social worker. He's running a social skills group. So every day I have 7 or 8 class groups of kids. Maybe there's like 5 or 6 kids in each group. We talk about different social skills, whether that's reading the room, just being mindful of other people's behaviors or their own behaviors, emotional intelligence, whatever they need kind of at that time. I also do a lot of one-on-one time with the kids. And then on the other side, you can see the ABC chart. That is the ABC graphing that I do. And so there's a lot of data collection that happens with observation of specific students that kind of you have to understand why the behavior is happening and kind of when and what the circumstances around it. And so we can kind of intervene when we need to. And then below that is the wellness room. I spend a lot of time in the wellness room with students who are having a really hard time, kind of talking with them and processing with them. And then below that is just a picture of a very upset boy who could be a great example of kind of some of the crisis intervention stuff that we deal with every day. Being a very low-income school, as you can imagine, the kids are coming from really rough situations, and this is something that I address when I'm at my practicum almost every day. The purpose of Title I is to ensure that all children have a fair and equal opportunity to obtain high-quality education and perform well on challenging academic assessments. Title I federal funds provide schools with additional before and after-school programs, computers, equipment and materials, paraprofessionals, pre-kindergarten, software, teacher training, tutoring resources. As you can imagine, being a low-income school, there are a lot of kids without resources and who would go without resources if it wasn't for the correct funding, helping them to kind of level the playing field, so to speak. Here is a slide that kind of illustrates funding for Legacy Elementary School. So there is 43.9% local sources, 7.9% federal funding, and then 48.1% is state sources. And as far as the accountability goes within my internship, I have a duty to the special education director and my students to take proper documentation and make sure it is submitted to the right person. And I feel like supervision has been the most reliable form of accountability within my internship because I really am able to connect with my supervisor and just bring him any kind of issues or frustrations that we're seeing and kind of really dive into those. So that's been really the best way of keeping accountable. Thank you so much for watching my slide. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend anyone interested in school social work to give it a shot. Thank you.